opposition to the reopening of the Granite City Steelworks. It's not an opposition to jobs. In fact, one of the reasons why we're here is because we are for unions, for strong unions. And we stand in enthusiastic, loud support of everything that unions do, not only for union workers, but for any worker. If you have a job, you have a union to thank for the basics, for basic benefits, for family medical leave, for vacation. Thank a union. That's right. Before I turn this over to the brilliant lineup of speakers that we have today, I want to say one thing, and this is to my elected official. I live about a half hour away in Edwardsville, in unincorporated Madison County. Thereby, Kurt Prenzler is my elected official. The words he used to describe this event today with all of you good citizens were words, and I quote, agitators who were threatening. I want to say to him that he should actually, if he were doing his job, be proud of us, because what we are doing right here, right now, is the most American thing I can think of. His words, and the words of other elected officials, who you probably know who I'm talking about, their words are not only divisive, unprofessional, and unproductive, they are un-American. We are regular citizens here today, not only opposing what we don't want, but standing up for what we want and what we know is possible. Right? Okay, with that, without further ado, I'm so pleased and proud to bring up our very first speaker, Christian Mitchell. Christian was raised by his mother, who has been a nurse for 30 years, and his grandfather, who was a union steelworker. Christian Mitchell is currently serving as the Illinois Democratic Party's executive director and will be launching a $1 million voter registration initiative in partnership with the J.B. Pritzker campaign. Christian, who has previously worked on campaigns for President Barack Obama and U.S. Senator Terry Duckworth. Christian became the youngest member elected to the Illinois House of Representatives in 2012 at the age of 25. Give it up for Christian Mitchell!
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Caller. All right.
Thank you. Everybody has trouble with the
microphone. Not
microphone.
actually that much easier. All right. So, I'm Christian Mitchell. I'm Executive Director of the Democratic Party of Illinois. And the reason why I'm here today is because I wanted to stand with all of you. I wanted to stand with you as we tell Donald Trump that he is not welcome here in the state of Illinois. And the reason why he's not welcome is because we have not been asleep at the wheel. We have seen his attempts to take away health care, to roll back the Affordable Care Act, to take away coverage from people with pre-existing conditions. And here in Illinois, we believe something different. We believe that health care is a right, not a privilege, and that everyone should have it. Now, you guys may have noticed someone is missing here today. Our Governor, Bruce Rauner, is not here today. Now, I know we're disappointed by that, but nobody should be shocked, because anytime there is a chance to stand up for the rights of ordinary people to have health care, anytime there is a chance to stand up for unions, Bruce Rauner is not only absent, he's on the other side.
That's right!
So we are here today because we believe something different. We believe that every single one of our friends and neighbors should be able to have health care, that no one should be too poor to live.
That's right!
We believe that what Donald Trump is attempting to do in rolling back health care is wrong.
That's right!
And we believe that the trade war he started mostly for his ego is devastating to Illinois farmers. So we're here today because we're fighting back.
That's right.
So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for coming out, for being willing to organize, to exercising that most fundamental right, which is to push back and resist on policies you believe are against your values. I stand with you. The party stands with you. God bless you.
All right.
Yes? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I believe we have Scott Cross up next. Scott.
Oh, Scott.
Okay.
Scotty.
Yes, Cross.
Yeah.
Scott has been a fearless advocate for the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. In 2014, he was organizer on the ground for downstate Illinois with the Get Covered America campaign, and he is currently serving as the co-coordinator for the state for the Indivisible Illinois. Welcome, Scott Cross.
Thank you, Granite City. I can't hear you. What do we want Trump to hear? What do we want? Democracy. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Democracy. When do we want it? Now. We confront corruption and we defend democracy. We confront corruption.
We defend democracy.
Confront corruption.
Defend democracy.
So I want to thank everyone for coming out here tonight, and I want to thank, the local groups here, Action Metro East, Indivisible Metro East, all the groups, Action Illinois, that have been involved, and to let you know that there is a current attack in this country on our healthcare system. They are outright sabotaging the Affordable Care Act, and when I say that, start repeating with me, the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, because that's what they're after. You ready? The
Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act.
They are after your protections. They want to roll back your 10 essential benefits that we fought long and hard almost a year ago. What did we do a year ago? We defended one of the worst attacks on the healthcare system, and we won, and we will win again, will we not?
Yeah.
That's what we want to hear. So right now, I want you to all know, and the people that are watching, that they have defunded the Navigator program or cut funding drastically. What does that mean to people in Granite City? That means that you'll have less people hired to sit across the table from you. Your local community person that would help you get the health care that you and your family need, that your children need. They're cutting the funding for that. While they're cutting for the funding for that, they're trying to roll back Medicaid. They're putting Medicaid work requirements in some states. So when we talk about Medicaid work requirements, they're bad. Ask the people of Kentucky. Look up the news and share it widely. 40% increase in administrative costs. It's a mess. So we're here today to say that health care is a human right. And I want to encourage all of you. All right, can you hear me better? Yeah. I want to encourage all of you to know that we need to live in that mantra right now that health care is a human right. And there are representatives down here standing next in solidarity to Donald Trump today in Granite City that had voted to take away your health care. Representative Mike Voss. Representative Rodney Davis. And we know who else voted for it. Representative Peter Roscom.
Yes.
Representative Randy Holtgren and Adam Kinzinger. Representative LaHood and John Shimkus. So we've had enough, and what we want you to know at Indivisible, and what we want you to be doing is calling your elected officials, calling them and letting them know, A, that this is not normal, that Trump is he's a clear and present danger. He's a clear and present danger to this country.
He's a national security threat.
He's a national security threat, exactly. But we got to protect our health care. We got to protect the rollback of our rights. So today I just want to stand next to you and ask you to do one more thing. In this fight that they fought to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, we passed a law here in Illinois. It's called the Do No Harm Act. And I want you to call Governor Rauner today, and I want you to let Governor Rauner know that he just needs to sign the Do No Harm Act. That's what he needs to do. What does Governor Rauner need to do?
Sign the Do No Harm Act.
So Governor Rauner, if you can't hear us, we want you to what?
Sign the Do No Harm Act.
That's right, because that's going to protect us from these junk plans that they're putting out there. They're putting out cheap plans to take the healthy people out of the exchanges. And what that means to each of you is higher costs. And in some cases in this country, when we say higher costs, premiums are going up 91.3%. Now, is that right? No. Is that the America that you voted for? No. Is America getting greater? No. Is America going in the wrong direction? Yes. So if we're going in the wrong direction, I want to ask all of you that gathered here today, how do we change that?
Register and vote.
So you ask everyone exactly in your community what their plan is to vote November 6th. Anyone that normally does not vote in a midterm election, I need for you to get them out to vote. And the other thing I want you all to know is that I challenge everyone here today to find 3 people in your community, 3 people that have never voted before. Go get them registered to vote, and you take them to early vote with you in this upcoming election. Make a plan, find people, get them to vote. This is how we win in November. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Okay, up next, I am pleased and proud to introduce and welcome Marleen Suarez. Marleen is an attorney in private practice in her hometown of Fairmont City, Illinois. She is the first and only attorney to establish a practice in this underserved community that is 70% Hispanic. Marleen was the Democratic candidate for Illinois State Representative District 112 in 2012, and she lost that race by less than 0.5% of the vote. Are we going to let something like that happen again?
Hell no!
Marleen!
All right, thank you so much for inviting me here. I really appreciate it. Now, I haven't given a speech for a while, so I got to read mine. I hope you don't mind.
Speak closer to that.
To this?
Real closer.
Somebody have so much trouble with the microphone.
All right. Can you hear me now? All right. So, anyway, as she said, I practice law right in Fairmont City, Illinois. And like Granite City and all the surrounding communities here in the Metro East, it's full of hard-working people. People who are dedicated to their jobs and to their families, and all they want is an equal chance to be able to work and to have safe health care in that. And so what they don't realize, though, they think they don't have any power. But we do have power. We have the power to vote. It's a unique power. It's our power to fight and resist. Now, I want to tell you a little story about my past and why I know that one person and one vote is important. It isn't just one person and one vote, it's a cumulative effect. Now, as I was introduced, I ran for state rep in 2012. I was not expected to win. All of the experts said I was going to get wiped out. Some of you people may know my opponent, Dwight K. Woo! He's a far right-wing evangelical guy with a ton of money, and he was an incumbent. He got in on the Tea Party wave in 2010, and so we were trying to knock him out. Nobody thought I had a chance, but with the help of some great volunteers, and many of you I see out here in the audience, we ran a fantastic race, a grassroots campaign. We went door to door. We made phone calls. Yes, we used robocalls. Sorry. But in the end, everybody still said I wouldn't win. And I had a hard time raising money. And that's what I want to give a shout out. The United Steelworkers were one of my biggest supporters. They believed in me, and I will always have their back because of that. Anyway, election night came, and I lost. They were right. I didn't have a chance. But something interesting happened. There were 53,000 votes cast in my race, and I lost by 321 votes. So let's think about that. 321 votes. If only 126 people had changed their vote from Kate to Suarez, I would have won, and we would have kept a strong presence in the Illinois House. Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't. Now, what we did do was prove that we hadn't given up, that we were still strong, we were still going to go on, we still had the power. And I'm very happy to say that Katie Stewart, a Democrat, won that spot back 4 years later. So, this is what I want you to do. I'm going to talk to you a little bit.
I know. It's okay. Close it. They want to hear you.
As I mentioned, one vote, one person is a cumulative effect. If you go out and you talk to your neighbors, your classmates, the person sitting next to you on the bus, your friends, and even your Republican sister-in-law, because we all have one. Every one of us does. And you talk to them, and you teach them, and you inform them about the issues and about the candidates. So you have a responsibility to educate yourself so you can go educate others. You have about 100 days to this November election. And this upcoming election is probably going to be the most important election that any of us have ever had in our lives. That's right. So, for one time, it's not enough for you to go out and vote. You have to challenge others, and you have to make it easy for them. Teach them how to get registered. Tell them about the candidates. Tell them about the issues and how it's going to affect them. And use your power. Now is not the time to be complacent. Now to become even more active in the community and to speak out even more. I know every one of you can do this here. And if every one of you brings in 10 voters, 15 voters, we are going to win in November. Yeah. Use your power, use your vote. Thank you.
We're going to experiment here with the microphone, so hold on one second.
Check. Can you hear? Is this better? Yes, okay, we'll use this, thanks.
Turn it up, though.
Oh, I feel like a rapper. Can you hear me? No? Yeah. Can this go up? Test. Can this go up? Yes? No? Now can you hear me?
Get it off the padded part of it. There you go.
Okay, now can you hear me? Can you hear me? No, I still got a few of these. Okay, I'm going to try to use my teacher voice. Oh, be careful. Okay, so on the topic of voting, I just want to make a public service announcement. The library right behind me is open and taking voter registration now until 8 p.m. tonight. Madison County only. Sorry, caveat asterisk, Madison County voters only. But thank you, Public Library. Okay. Actually, before we turn it over to our next two speakers, I'm going to invite Scott Cross back up to lead us in a few energizing chants.
Hey everybody, what's going on, Granite City? So, repeat after me. I'm going to say, when democracy's under attack, what do? You say, stand up, fight back. Got it? Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. Are you ready? Yeah. When democracy is under attack, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
When the special counsel is under attack, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
When the Supreme Court comes above the law, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
When they attack Robert Mueller and Rod Rosenstein, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
When they attack the rule of law and the right to vote, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
When they attack fair districts and fair elections, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
When they attack whistleblowers and election security, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
When they attack the balance of power in this great country, when they attack our public servants in the FBI and in the military and all of these different people that work and serve our country, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
Who is above the law?
No one.
Who is above the law?
No one.
A republic 1776, let's put country before politics. A republic since 1776.
Let's put country before politics.
A republic since 1776.
Let's put country before politics.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show us what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show Mike Voss what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show Donald Trump what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
All right, are we ready for our next?
I'm going to go back to this one, and I'm going to try to make go like this so everybody hears me. So our next speaker, Doug May, where are you? Doug May. Doug, coming up. Thank you, Doug. Doug is one of us, but more importantly today, he represents a retired steel worker and all of the steel workers. He worked at the Granite City Mill. He worked at the Granite City Mill for 43 years. Give it up for Doug May.
See if I'm coordinated enough to read and hold this and keep my balance at the same time.
Yeah.
But
You got it. Do you want me to hold that?
no, it's all right. My presence here is driven by a lot of things, but on a somewhat selfish level, the stronger the steel industry, the more hope I have for good retiree health care and pension. Two issues that have made many headlines and have caused worry for millions of Americans as pensions and health care are at risk. But it was our union, the United Steelworkers, that recognized that we were not big enough on our own to turn around public opinion or challenge those making money by selling out our jobs. The USW and our allies recognized the middle class was disappearing and upward mobility for family-supporting jobs, hollowed-out communities, and revenue streams for schools and communities were vanishing as well. We had a very large Steelworker Alliance for American Manufacturing rally on this very spot in 2015 before the plant went idle. The primary villain at that time is we have played this whack-a-mole effort to stop foreign competitors from cheating. We all know globalization is here to stay, but we're opposed to cheating. But at that time, it was South Korea destroying the pipe market. Within months of U.S. Steel investing over $200 million in this plant, by appearances, it might look like a buggy whip manufacturer, but it has very modern technology. They invested over $200 million to modernize this plant in the overcapacity built by foreign competitors dumping, that is, selling the product for less than it cost them to produce it, caused the plant to go idle as U.S. Steel consolidated their orders at other facilities. Granite City Steel has a proud tradition of operating here since 1895, but they have made big investments to remain globally competitive, including participation by the United Steelworkers to restructure contracts, job functions, cross-training. But that occurred after 45 domestic steel manufacturers filed bankruptcy during the 2002-2000 era. Sacrifices along the way were made, including many, mine included, losing their pensions after working in a tough environment for 29 years and 9 months, 3 short months away from qualifying for a pension. But where I would like to give President Trump credit for bringing my fellow steelworkers back to work, and I'm very happy for them. I hope they remain working, but I feel he speaks with forked tongue out of both sides of his mouth. You know, he's getting credit for bringing them back to work, but it's a direct conflict with his transparency for building his base. And I'm sure that's why he's here, building his base.
Exactly.
And greatest concern. Had he not won the election, he would still be constructing his developments, his Trump Towers with China made in steel, with the China steel. That's well documented. But it was decades of rallies, lobbying days, public education, getting the media to write about what was happening with foreign competitors cheating, and most importantly, building coalitions with others to get the power we need to take fair trade to the top of the political agenda. Trump simply recognized a forgotten demographic that we built, grabbed our playbook, and he ran with it. He recognized disenfranchised voters, disappointed in both parties. He's not a passionate, he has no interest in unions, and he certainly doesn't know anything about the steel industry. It was just an opportunity for him. And there's a direct correlation between the loss of union density in the U.S. and the downward spiral of the middle-class standard of living. The recent Supreme Court Janus decision will become more commonplace as Trump has an opportunity for another appointment, giving a solid majority to conservatives on the Supreme Court will lead to further anti-worker rulings.
We're going to stop him though.
An out-of-touch leadership has enabled a populist Trumpism strategy to split at one solid base by speaking to, and in this case, on an issue that was ignored for decades. An issue of fair trade and jobs that resonates with many working-class families and their communities. The industry supports 7 multiplier jobs, with many of those in family-supporting employment. The USW, again, he picked up on our playbook that we worked so hard towards. The steelworkers filed over 2 dozen trade cases with the Department of Commerce over the past decades, winning almost every filed case to stop the hemorrhaging of family-supporting jobs, the hollowing out of communities, and the downward pressure these losses created for families. Only to witness whack-a-mole again. China game the system after a ruling in 2005 when Obama was president that imposed a 265% penalty, but then they, with their whack-a-mole strategy, they started transshipping their product through other countries. The USW leadership bargaining committee, where this locals that represent this plant are currently in Pittsburgh bargaining, so their presence was impossible. But make no mistake, the White House and Trump must have found this a rewarding coincidence, since they have made no secret for their dislike for unions.
That's
Trump has
right
never
there.
acknowledged the USW organizational efforts that created his playbook. The members of the union have been the foot soldiers for domestic manufacturers, lobbying, making phone calls, organizing rallies, petitions, raising awareness through all media platforms that these jobs affect more than the employees in this plant. We all know globalization is here to stay, but free trade agreement rules should be complied with, and that includes President Trump, his family, and all of his business practices. Thank you for listening to my long...
Union strong!
Union strong! Union strong! Union strong!
Union strong! Union strong! Union strong! Union strong! Union strong!
Union strong! Union strong!
Is this working?
Union strong!
Is this working? Can you hear me? All right. So, we're here to tell Representative Mike Voss and the others to stop the attacks on health care and to repeal the Trump tax, which goes into that. They took our tax money, gave it to the rich people, and then, because they gave all of our money to the rich, we don't have money to pay for health care anymore. We have some of these that we passed out earlier that's got some amazing facts on it. Representative Voss voted to kick 427,800 Illinoisans off Medicaid, including 25,500 in the 12th district.
Whoa.
Illinois families will pay $398 million next year due to the tax increases in the Trump tax.
What do we do when they say that? Stand up, fight back.
Stand up, fight back. All right. 876,320 Illinoisans will see no tax cut next year. What do we do when they do that?
Stand up, fight back.
Representative Voss voted for the American Health Care Act, also known as Trump Care, which would have raised insurance premiums on low-income older Illinoisans by an estimated $14,610. What did we do? He voted to take access to health care away from 710,000 Illinoisans, including 37,900 in his own district. What did we do?
Stand up, fight back.
All right, just remember, we need to do this today. We need to keep doing it on Monday in 3 different cities. You have Medicare anniversary, Medicaid anniversary rallies at your representatives' offices. We've handed out flyers about that. If you have any questions, see any of these people walking around today, we'll get you the information. And also, coming up on August 4th, there's going to be a healthcare and tax reform forum in Carbondale.
A what?
A healthcare and tax reform forum in Carbondale.
Yeah.
Even if you cannot make it, you can submit a question. We want your questions to ask your representatives. We will live stream it, so even if you can't make it to Carbondale to join us, come and submit your questions online. We want to ask your questions.
Yeah!
They might actually show up this time. They've actually responded, so let's get our questions asked of them. Thank you.
Hey, we have a really quick update. We have a really quick update of intel. We want to run the broadcast. Go ahead and tell. We have a quick update. Trump's in town, you know, and we wanted you to know what's going on here in your city of Granite City. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming, fellow resistors. I just had an update. Trump's people told them that they wanted 600 people at his welcoming rally. And if they did not get 600 people, they were going to force steelworkers to go. That's what happened. They forced steelworkers to go to his rally.
That is not good. What do they do? What do we do when they do that? We stand up, fight back.
Okay, another public service announcement. Tonight, July 26th, you've got nothing else to do. At 5 p.m. at the Tri-City Labor Temple right here in Granite City, 2014 State Street. Brendan Kelly will be hosting a town hall on organized labor. So show up to that tonight and support Brendan Kelly.
Brendan Kelly.
Okay, so I am pleased to bring up another guest speaker. Please welcome Rayon Dansberry. He's from about 15 minutes away in Washington Park, representing the Black Power Union. Woo!
Can you guys hear me? I think y'all can hear me a little better without this. I got a voice.
Yeah.
Guys, I want to thank all of you guys for coming out. Yeah! It's time that we show up and show out. Trump has done it to America.
Yeah, right.
I did not vote for him. However, he's still my president. So when he took office, I said to myself that I'm going to give him the opportunity to prove me wrong. However, he didn't prove me wrong, he proved me right. Because by him being all of our presidents, his job is to bring us together, not turn us apart.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
You sit back and you talk about immigration. You're talking about how all these Mexicans and all this coming over and kill us, they rape us, they rob us. However, there are people in the United States. They come in and they help us. Now, I'm not saying that we have some people that's coming over here illegally, okay? We need to fix that. We know that's a problem. However, you don't do it by going and take 2,000 kids and don't know what the hell you done with. That's not the way to do it. You you don't get on national TV and you talk all this good talk. You get on there and you can blast Iran. You can get on there and talk about what you're gonna go to Iran and do. However, you can't get on there and tell us what the hell you just said in the room with Putin.
Wait, what'd you say? Say that again?
You can't get on national TV and tell us what you and Putin talked about. But you can get on there and tell us you're ready not to take no shit from Iran. The Secretary of State come out. They had him on Capitol Hill. They was drilling him. He don't even know what you're talking about. So he can't save you. Then you got other people that's in the cabinet that's supposed to do the right thing. Donald Trump, I'm putting you on notice today. I lost my son. In 2014, I lost my son to senseless violence. It amazes me how I can pull up in Granite City today and see all of those polices everywhere. But I can't see you down in Washington Park when a child get killed.
That's right.
I can't see you in East St. Louis when a child get killed. I see you in the courtroom when you're ready to send somebody off. I don't see you at graduations. I don't see you at youth rallies. It's time out for us to allow him to drive us in the ground. He ain't doing nothing for Granite City still. Granite City still is doing what they want for Granite City still. Now they can use this little image to say that Trump then came off his high horse to come down here with the little people and try to find out what's going on. But I'm gonna stand up on this, because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. He gonna come through here, he gonna wave, just like Mike Pence just did when he was on Fallon. He gonna wave his hand, he gonna button up his little shirt, he gonna go in there and he gonna tell him a whole bunch of lies, and then he gonna get his ass back in that motorcade and head up out of here. And you know what he gonna do after that? He ain't gonna give a damn about Granite City after that. So what we need to do is, we need to come together as a collective whole. We don't need to come, we need to stress our First Amendment. The freedom of speech and to assemble peacefully. We don't need to be out here acting a fool. Let Trump people do that, because that's what they're about. Because we come to unify and bring together. We come to build up and not destroy. We come to save the youth and not help kill them. So if Trump can't get what we're saying now, it's enough people out here to get 10 or 20 of your friends to say, come 2020, we'll see your ass later. Not putting Trump on notice. We putting anybody that come into that office that's not gonna do the will of the people, we'll see your ass later too. It's time out for these different parties. You got the Republican Party, you got the Democrat Party, and then you got the other party. Well, guess what? It's about the American Party. It's about what we want. It's about what we're trying to accomplish. At the end of the day, the good Lord wakes us all up. He wakes us up for a reason. Unfortunately, somebody wasn't able to get up this morning. Somebody's leg wasn't able to work this morning. But since God woke me up and he gave me all my working limbs, I'm going to give my honor and praise to God, but at the same time, I'm putting Trump on notice. Your ass finna be out of here. And if you don't like what you see, you take action. When you take action, you change your people, places, and things. When you change that, we'll change the President of the United States. Thank you guys. He is Gary, and now we're working together.
Register and vote in November. Register and vote in November. Vote local. Vote local. Vote local.
I'm willing to work with you guys.
Okay. Got it. Another public service announcement. If you want your picture taken with either of the chickens behind me, you have to do it now because we have to take them down due to the weather. There is inclement weather coming, so take your picture now. Okay, that, my friends, Rayon is a hard act to follow. However, we've got another good one. Let me introduce Miss Cori Bush. Cori is a former early childhood educator, a community-based mental health registered nurse, and an ordained pastor. She is a single mother and a community activist and organizer. Cori has felt the burden of being uninsured and the pain of homelessness. She has experienced the challenges of raising children on her own, living paycheck to paycheck, making just above minimum wage, taking on student loans to continue her education. She is a tireless advocate for creating dramatic and lasting change. And she is running for Congress in Missouri's 1st District right across the river in our own St. Louis. Give it up for Cori!
You all look beautiful to me right now. You look beautiful. This is what it's about. Making sure our voices are heard. Every single one of us. Regardless of what we look like, regardless of who we love, regardless of how we fight. The point is we fight together. We have to be here today. Some people said, Cori, you're running a race. You got 12 days. Why would you come to this? I'm here because this is the reason I got to go to D.C.
That's right.
We cannot continue to allow these policies that are being tossed at us to be tossed at us and we be complacent. We fix this. I am a strong believer that just the people, us, regular everyday folks, we are the ones that are going to change our community. We are the ones that are going to change Washington. And this is how we do it.
Power to the people.
Absolutely, power to the people, and we are the people. So this is the thing. As a registered nurse, I work in community-based mental health, and I get to see every day the pain of people that don't have insurance, that just want to be well.
Yeah.
There's a stigma that says people that suffer from mental illness don't want to be well.
Yeah.
But that's a lie. It's up to us to make sure that those resources are there. If Trump won't do it, if his administration won't do it, we're going to fight and move them out so that we get what we need. And the way we get them out is to always vote. 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 Our local elections are so important. So important. One thing that we can't allow them to mess with our unions. We can't allow them to mess with our unions. We need strong unions to have strong families. Our working families and even people that suffer from disabilities need advocates, and this is how we do it. So I'm standing here today saying that your voice matters. Every single one of you, your voice is powerful. Now, one thing about it, when we come together like this, yes, we're amazing. Yes, we do great things. Yes, we can come together and make some moves. But don't forget about what you have individually. You have something amazing and strong that's needed. You have something that the person next to you don't have. But when we put all of that together, we change the world. Are you ready to change the world? Yeah! Change the world. And we're changing the world because we are the people and we are strong and we are solid and we won't allow this foolishness to continue in our communities. We're taking back our country and we are America strong. America strong. our respective homes. When we say goodbye to this mess that's happening in Granite City right now, we're going to fight, we're going to stand together, and it's our job, each and every one of us. Touch your neighborhood. Touch your neighborhood. It's great to come together like this, but touch your neighborhood. If each and every one of us touch 10 people, think about the change that we'll make. So don't think you're insignificant. Don't think just because you like pottery that you may not be able to change the world. You can. You like stamp collecting, you still can change the world. You don't have to have a mic in your hand to change the world. It's about each and every one of us. It's not me, us. It's us. So go to your communities. Push and hold your elected officials accountable, and make sure that we change what's happening in D.C. by electing people that actually love the people. And just love them. I just love you, and I hope you love humanity the way that I do. Let's do this together. Thank you.
Okay, friends, we just got news that President Trump has landed at the airport, so he will be here shortly. We have 2 more speakers to wrap up this wonderful event. I'm pleased to welcome Pam Gronemeyer from nearby Glen Carbon. She is a physician, and she represents our revolution, started and founded by our friend Bernie Sanders. So give it up for Pam.
Pam, tell us who your congressman is.
Hi, yeah, I'm Pam Gronemeyer. I'm Pam Gronemeyer, and I live in Glen Carbon, and I'm unfortunately not represented by Rodney Davis. But he's never there, and he's never there to disagree, but that was what Chip has said. So now he agrees to disagree. I'm a physician, and I actually worked in Granite City from 1981 to 95. I know how important this bill is to the public, but I think that what now Trump is trying to use, I mean, he's using the people against the people. I think that I believe that health. Can you hear me? I believe that health care is a human right. And health care is not only a human right, it's a human need. We can do health care for all, and we need to support Medicare for all. We need to improve Medicare for all. We need to support Social Security, and yeah, I know that Medicare works. I don't know yet that Social Security works, but I believe it does. We also need to get the corporations out of our government. Corporations are not people, and money is not speech. It's self-control, because that may be the most important thing. I was a Bernie delegate. I was the only Bernie delegate from Madison County, and I was on the platform committee. And I'm committed to keep working for health care, because health care is my life. I've lived it, and I do it forever. So, you know, and I mean, there aren't a whole lot of, actually, we don't really know how many doctors there are who are for health care. Oh, speak up? Okay. Oh, okay, right in front of my mouth. Okay, I'm a physician. You really don't know that 60% of the physicians really to support Medicare for all. We can do it, so we need to get out. The main thing we need to do, though, is vote. We need to register and get people to vote. We need to make a blue wave. There are more of us than there are people who support Donald Trump. And just turn out, get people to vote, take them to the polls.
But when they vote, they need to vote what? All ticket, down local. Vote local too.
Vote all. Vote everything. I mean, I ran for the state central committee on the 13th, and I was the bottom of the ballot. So you need to vote all the way down. And like I said, we need to live. I'm leaving work today, and the people are going to be surprised, but it's worth it, because we need to get out and make people, turn people on. So thanks for coming, and we're going to keep up the fight.
More of us.
Okay, I'm pleased to welcome Jessica Motsinger, representing Indivisible Metro East, as our last formal speaker of the day. Jessica.
Hello, and thank you everybody for coming out today. I think this is a beautiful crowd, and I think we're sending out a really good welcome rally. But we're actually gathered here for very important reasons. Our health care is at stake. This is not about politics, this is about families. We need to realize that Republicans in the House and the Senate have supported multiple bills to repeal the ACA, which added over 12 million people to the program. The largest expansion of Medicaid in history, which provided states with more money to support hospitals, clinics, and increased economic growth. Places like West Virginia and Missouri and rural Illinois. Repeal of the ACA would also hurt Medicare recipients like myself. Unraveling provisions that have lowered the cost of prescription drugs for millions of seniors who are in coverage gap. The donut hole, as we know it. And provided free preventative care like mammograms, cancer screenings, flu shots, and annual exams for the first time in Medicare history. President Trump and the Republicans in Congress passed a new tax law that increased the deficit by over $1 trillion, like Representative Voss did.
On our credit cards.
On our credit cards. And now they're proposing cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security Disability Insurance, and the VA. All to pay for their increase in the deficit. Boo! President Trump issued directives that encourages states to create new barriers to Medicaid with burdensome work requirements that would deny health coverage to some people who can't meet the new requirements. A court has already blocked these work requirements in Kentucky, ruling that the work requirements interfere with Medicaid's true purpose, which is to provide health care.
What is that? What's the true purpose?
To provide health care. Now here is the most important point that we need to understand, Supreme Court. Right now, we have the AGs in Missouri and West Virginia that have, going to the Supreme Court, they are saying that the provisions in the ACA that provide coverage for our pre-existing conditions is unconstitutional. That will hurt how many people? I think almost everyone here. So I want everybody to understand what's at stake. You need to vote November 6th. Join up, left unite.
Raise your hand if you have a family member with a pre-existing condition in your family. Please raise your hand.
I think we all have family members with pre-existing
President Trump,
conditions.
see how many people you're affecting just in this crowd. What the Republicans are doing that's wrong. Woo!
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I get to have the last word. So here's the deal.
What?
This event right here is testament to the power of people right here. I want everyone to give it up for the organizations and individuals who pulled this off like that.
Standing together.
So here's the deal. We heard many important themes today. We heard about the importance of affordable, quality health care for all. We heard about the importance of strong unions with strong workforces and strong communities. But we also, a theme and throughout this entire thing, is a citizen-driven democracy, right?
Yes! For the people.
It's we the people, not we the privileged few with access to elites, right?
We the
It's
Billions of dollars.
We the people.
And as Scott reminded us, it's not just about showing up to the big, ginormous, attention-getting elections in November. It's about supporting people right now. Showing up at marches, showing up at protests, marching in support of your candidates. Do everything to hit those streets, connect with your community. This is about us. This is about our future generations. If I had to summarize everything, it's the tagline of not only Action Metro East, but all of the groups around here. We watch, we act, we vote!
So, really quickly, we're going to do some chants to chant it out. out at the end, but I want to draw everyone's attention to a particular quote that you probably all have heard. It's from Representative Joe Kennedy II. He quoted it in March. It was super effective and poignant in March of 2017, and it is even more so today. So I'm going to read, the reply line is "There is no mercy," and I will read the lines. I will say "There is no mercy," and you will read the line below it. Or I'm sorry, I will say "There is no mercy." I will say "There is no mercy," and you will. I will read the line, and you will say "There is no mercy." I don't know. I can't speak right now.
There is no mercy.
So there is no mercy.
There is no mercy.
Ready? There. Can you say it on the count of three? 1, 2, 3.
There is no mercy.
In a system that makes healthcare a luxury.
There is no mercy.
In a country that turns it back on those that need a protection, especially the elderly, the poor, the sick, and the suffering.
There is no mercy.
And a cold shoulder for the mentally ill in the worst opiate crisis in this country's history.
There is no mercy.
There is no mercy. What is it? It's an act of malice. So show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
I got a couple chances for you for healthcare before we go. When people are under attack, what do we do? When our healthcare is under attack, what do we do? When the rural hospital that's in your community here is under attack, what do you do? When women's healthcare is under attack, what do you do?
Stand up, fight back.
When Medicaid is under attack, what do you do?
Stand up, fight back.
When the ACA is under attack, what do you do?
Stand up, fight back.
When they say cut back, we say what?
Fight back.
Right, cut back, fight back. So we want you to vote. We want you to go back to your communities. We want you to stay here today and have some fun, take some pictures, and protest, talk with people, meet people, network. But most of all, we want you to be proud of taking your part in what is constitutionally guaranteed that we're currently in this country taking for granted. Don't let people ever make you feel scared to protest. And a message to all of our news media that's out there, please hold our representatives accountable. And I have a question that we would like to publicly address to Representative Rodney Davis and Mike Voss. The question is, will they commit to a healthcare system that will expand coverage and at least give people the coverage that they have now or better? And it will only cost us less than 8.5% of your gross monthly income. Now, how does that sound for a goal for us to move forward in this country?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need for you to vote. We need for you to vote local. We need for you to get 3 people that have never voted. Take them and get them registered and get them to vote. If you do that, we will win this elections. We will have the blue wave that everyone's talking about. And I also encourage you to talk to these local group leaders and join a local grassroots group in your community. Join an indivisible group, Action Metro East, Action Illinois. We need more people to join this movement. It's growing every day. Our very democracy is at stake. Thank you so much. And we'll leave you with one thought. Why are we called indivisible? I'd like to lead everyone in the Pledge of the Allegiance. Ready? I pledge allegiance to the United States of America. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.